Hello everybody, Yellow Mustang here again with another Roblox game development video. Last time we were working on the Lizard Man AI enemy thing, and we're going to be taking a break from that today, and we're going to do some character setup for this game. So the idea here is that the character is always strafing, so we want the character to always be facing away from the camera, essentially. So we're going to implement a starter character script for that and make it a local script for now. We'll worry about replicating all this to the server later, but this should be good for now. So the first thing we want to do is do local user input equals game get service user input service. Good. So now we want to do user input dot input changed connect function input. Okay, so that will get, this event will fire every time we hit a key or do anything regarding input to the game, move the mouse, etc. We're going to be detecting the mouse movement for this. So we're going to do if enum, or if input dot user input type is equal to enum dot user input type dot mouse movement, then continue, and let's just make sure this works. We'll print yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this out. Okay, you can see in the bottom here, we get yes every time we move the mouse. So that is perfect. Okay, so now we need to get the we need to like lock the mouse center for this. So we always want it to be the center, essentially. So we want to do so let's get the camera. So let's do camera equals workspace dot current camera. We want to do user input dot mouse behavior dot locked center. Mouse behavior equals enum dot mouse behavior dot locked center. Okay, there. Great. Okay, so now this will be locked. Now the aimer will be locked into the center of the screen. So let's go ahead and test that out. Okay, now you can see our mouse is locked to the center of our screen. We cannot move it. Okay, so if we right click, it releases it, so we will just have to continuously set it to be that. So we'll do user input dot mouse behavior equals enum mouse behavior dot lock center. Okay, so just make sure it stays in the center every single time. So now we should be able to get the mouse like delta X and delta Y. Let's see, input. Okay, so input dot delta X is going to be like how far the mouse like wants to move in the X axis, which is going to be left and right. And then let's see, print delta Y is equal to input dot delta Y. What did I do here? Rid of this. Okay, let's continue. Let's make sure that actually prints. Okay, and you can see at the bottom it's getting spammed with numbers, but it is working essentially. So that is it's detecting how much the mouse is moving left and right, even though it's not actually moving. It's doing that thing. Okay, so let's continue here. So I had to actually like alt tab out of the game to release the mouse. We're gonna have to implement a button to get out of that. Okay, so let's see here. We can do my torso.cframe equals. Oh, we didn't declare the torso yet, did we? Okay, so we'll do local torso equals script.parent, wait for child, torso. Okay, so torso. No, we're not using torso, are we? We're using root. My bad again. I'm stuck in the old ways. Okay, so humanoid root part. Okay, good. Okay, so root.cframe equals cframe.new. No, we want to do root.cframe. So all those delta X, delta Y, we want to like rotate our character along with that. which will allow the camera to move. So root.cframe equals root.cframe times cframe.new, cframe.angles 0, math.rad, and then delta input.delta.x, and then 0. So that should allow us to like rotate on the x axis. Now let's go ahead and test this again. Let's see, hopefully our character moves. Okay, cool. So you see he moves now. It's reversed and the camera isn't following. So now we need to change the actual camera type to be scriptable so we can edit the camera. So we will do that now. So we'll set the lock center, and we need to do camera type equals enum camera type scriptable. Okay, so that should be good. Now we want to do game get service run service render stepped connect function, and then this. Okay, so like every single, like this is going to run this line of code in here as fast as possible. This event is going to be pretty much constantly firing. So we want to have the camera like be like follow the player essentially. So we're going to do camera.cframe equals root.cframe times cframe.new. Let's see. We want to move it backwards, so I guess that would be on the Z. So maybe like 10 studs away on the Z axis. So this should constantly run and then update the camera to be directly like behind the player. So let's see if that works, and let's invert this also. So just put a minus sign in front of that delta, and that should rotate us the opposite way, hopefully. All right, let's see. Okay, wow, here we go. Now, as you can see, we got movement now. I need to set the humanoid auto rotate to be false because that's messing with it. So let's go ahead and set that. This is looking really good already. This is great. Okay, so now we'll do local human equals script.parent wait for child humanoid. Okay, and then we're gonna do human dot auto rotate equals false. All right, let's go ahead and run this again. Okay, now you can see our character strafes successfully, and we can move left and right without the character auto-rotating, and this guy will always follow our camera, essentially, so that's perfect, exactly what we want. Let's move the camera to be a bit higher up. Let's try 5, and we also need to allow the character to look up and down as well. We don't want to rotate the humanoid root part like that. We just want to adjust the camera like look angle. So let's see. So we're going to create a variable, I guess, called tilt. I think we want tilt. Yeah, tilt equals 0. Okay. Then we'll do times cframe.angles. And then I believe it is on the X we want tilt. So math.rad tilt. So this is going to rotate the camera like up and down. Essentially, it'll tilt it. Left and right would be pan. Up and down is tilt. So we'll just constantly update the tilt with whatever value it is. So let's see here. We will do tilt equals input dot delta dot y, but we want to like add it to it, so we'll do tilt plus input dot delta y, I believe, and that should allow us to like look up and down with the camera, I think, hopefully. I'm kind of scared. Okay, all right, that's pretty, it's pretty powerful, but yeah, now we can look up and down and stuff. We need to definitely like turn down the sensitivity on that, but that is looking good. Okay, so let's see here. so let's create another variable in here. We'll do local strafing equals true. And we will do this. We will do if, now we'll just add an and in here. So if it's mouse movement and strafing is true, then we will update all this. If it's not, then we don't need to update it. So we want to be able to like unlock the mouse essentially. We don't want it constantly locked in. So we are going to do, we're going to have a button essentially. So we'll do user input. I'm so bad at user input. Input began connect function input. We'll do if input dot keycode is equal to enum dot user or the enum.keycode dot escape. Then strafing equals not strafing. Or actually, well, we need to check. So if strafing is equal to true, then strafing is false. So if strafing is false, we want to unlock the mouse. So we'll do user input dot mouse behavior equals enum dot mouse behavior dot default. So that should release the mouse and it will stop the strafing following the mouse. And then we'll do else, and then we will do this. Okay, and let's move this inside of this if statement in there so it doesn't update when we don't want it to. Okay, so should be good. And then we'll set strafing to be true in here, paste that in there, reset the lock. Okay, so that should be good. And then also let's turn down the sensitivity on this. Let's make it like twice as slow maybe. It still looks pretty fast. Okay. Yeah, we'll mess with that some more. Okay, let's see. We hit escape now. Nothing happens. Okay, obviously I did something wrong. Okay, let's see. I'm looking online for this input.keycode is escape, and this should work. Print escape key pressed. Okay, let's do some troubleshooting here. Let's see. So we hit the escape key, but it's still not detecting it. Is that because it might be because it's under the run service thing, and that is like not letting it get far enough down reading our code? Is that why? No. Is my escape key broken? Yeah, user input began connect input. Can we like print the input? Let's see. This is getting weird. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we can print the input. Okay, so can we print the input key code? Alright, so what keys are we pressing? W. Oh, escape is just... This is weird. I had escape working in my other game with this same kind of setup. It has one for backquote, but not escape. That is super weird. It's probably an issue with my keyboard. Yeah, tab works, caps lock works, shift. Okay, control. I guess we'll do like left control, I guess, for now. And we'll look into this later, but I want the key to be escaped. Left control. Okay. We don't need this print anymore. This should hopefully work. And let's mess with that tilt thing some more. So let's not do it in there. Let's just stop it at the source. So input y delta divided by like 4. That should like make it 4 times slower. Okay, that's better. I still want it slower, but that's better. Okay. Yeah, make it way slower. But yeah, this is looking good. Alright, so we got strafing down pretty well. Let's hit control, I guess. Okay, that releases our mouse. Okay, timer is going off, but we are going to give the video 10 more minutes because I'm going to have to cut so much shit out. Alright, so anyways, so left control again brings us back. Okay, so this is essentially, it's going to be our pause menu, and you can actually move the mouse and click stuff, and your character just stands there. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Yeah, the mouse controls are actually inverted for some reason, so let's I guess subtract this, and that should work. Let's make it 6 times slower. Okay, how about now? Yeah, I guess that's okay. This is kind of sensitive as well, though, huh? Yeah. Okay, and I don't want the character to be able to look down like too far. Okay, yeah, we need the camera to be higher up, because when we're aiming, I want to have the character to be able to see more in front of him, because you're going to be shooting enemies like the whole time. Like, we're going to be shooting this lizard, so we need a good field of view. Like, if we're directly in front of him like that, then it's hard to see with the mouse. So let's make it so this cannot go past. Okay, so we're going to have to do some troubleshooting here. So let's do this. So let's make this like half the speed of that. And then we want the camera to be higher up, I said, so we'll make it 10 up. 5 studs higher, like twice as high. Might be too high. Let's try 8 for now. And then we need to print, let's print the tilt, so I know how far, like what our range is that is acceptable. Okay, so like negative, like 33 is like, negative 33 is the minimum that we're gonna allow it. So yeah, negative 33. And then, is this too high now? So our character's pretty off screen, huh? Maybe I can move the camera back more and that would help. Yeah, I think we can move it back a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, 33. Yeah, 33 is the minimum because I don't want the camera to be able to do a 360. Maximum height, I would say, we'll just have it be 0. Okay. So we'll do if tilt is greater than 33. No, negative 33. If tilt is greater than 33 and input.delta.y, let's just make a variable for this. So dx or dy will be our delta y. So input.delta.y. So if tilt is less than negative 33, and so if it's greater than negative 33 and input.delta.y is less than 0. So if we're wanting to move the camera down, then tilt needs to be a negative number. So if tilt is a negative, we want to make sure that the tilt is not already, so sorry, if the input delta y is negative is essentially what we're checking right now, and we're just making sure that we're not too low. So now we want to make sure it's not too high if it's positive. So if tilt is less than 0 and dx or dy is greater than 0, then tilt, I can't spell tilt, so let's just copy this formula that I have here. Okay, end. So if it is outside that range, then we should be good. And it should just ignore it. So if we go too crazy, it should just ignore. Oh, shit. Oh, God. What did I do? Why can't I go down? Okay. Obviously, I messed something up in there. So if tilt is greater than -33 and dx. Okay, I don't know what is doing what anymore. Yeah, print up. Okay, let's see which one of these is causing the issue. 'Cause I know they're both messed up. Okay, so is it? It's up. If tilt is greater than -33 and tilt is less than 0, or delta y is less than 0, so this should be going down, right? Why does it go up? Ah, I see. Because it's like inversed, right? So I guess we'll inverse this also. Okay, so let's update all these variables because this is annoying me. Let's see. dy, dy. Yeah, that's right. We have everything inversed. So let's just inverse it again, and that way maybe it'll work. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is working. We're at 0. Okay, perfect. Great. This actually seems... it's a very short field of movement that we have here. Let's allow it to go a little bit higher. Let's see. We'll allow it to go to 10, I guess. And we were going to move the camera back a bit also. So let's put 15 there so we have a bigger field of view. Okay. Alright, what is this? I guess we need to update this to like 26 now. Let's see. So let's turn 33 to 26. And then I guess we'll call it good for that. Okay, okay. That's a little bit better, I guess. Maybe when you're killing enemies, you won't even notice as much. Is this camera too fast? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think of the sensitivity. Maybe we can make it slower. Should be fairly easy. Okay. All right, so camera controls is looking good. So I think that's gonna end this episode today. You guys can suggest stuff in the comments, ideas or whatever, and I'll read them. I read all the comments. In the next episode, we are probably going to implement sprinting, like hold shift to sprint, and then we are going to start designing the first class that you can play as, which is going to be the commando, which is going to be like dual pistols essentially, and you just shoot everything in existence. So I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this. Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this. Oh, fuck. I can't...